Are you looking for the best Coleman tent? In this video we will look at some of the 7 best Coleman tent on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Coleman Sundome Tent. Do you want to get into camping without shelling out a fortune? Do you usually camp in fair weather? If you answered yes, the Coleman Sundome may be the perfect tent for you. Yes, the Coleman Sundome is cheap, but that doesn't mean it's low quality. In fact, it should cover all your needs on most camping trips. I've looked at quite a few budget entry-level tents, and nothing comes close to the Sundome. To begin with, it's quite roomy. You should be able to fit a queen-size air mattress in the 3 to 6 person models, and the peak is high enough that even tall people can sit up straight. And it keeps you dry even if it's pouring outside. This is not only true in my personal experience but also confirmed by thousands of reviews. Just remember to use a tarp or footprint to protect the bottom of the tent. But strong winds could cause some issues. Coleman says it's tested for up to 35 miles per hour. But people reported significant bending at winds of 20 miles per hour. Given the average wind speed is 6 to 12 miles per hour, this shouldn't be a cause of concern for most of you. Number 2. Coleman Pop-Up Tent. Do you wish you never have to set up your tent when camping? Well, the Coleman pop-up tents make that happen. This tent literally pops into place a few seconds after you take it out of the bag, thanks to its elastic and pre-assembled poles. The ease of setup also makes this tent great for festivals and events, where you may want to move a lot. You won't have to worry about rainy weather, either. The waterproofing is surprisingly good. People have reported staying dry inside the tent even when there are puddles of water outside. Number 3. 6-man tent with 360 degrees panoramic view. Wow, I must say I'm blown away by this tent. You'll get to experience the outdoors in true comfort and style without a steep price tag. Let's talk about how spacious and versatile this tent is. The entire floor area is 13 feet by 13 feet with near vertical walls and a room divider. Here are a few inspirations on how you can use all this room. 2 adults. Most luxurious option with separate bedroom and living room. You can have tables, chairs, and even cooking supplies in the living room. In the bedroom, you can easily fit a tall airbed, complete with nightstands for adults. Use the curtain to create 2 bedrooms, each with 1 queen-size airbed and plenty of storage space. 8 adults. Lay down 8 sleeping pads side by side in 2 rows, will average to 3 feet of width per person, which is very generous among tents. So, and did I mention the 7 feet tall ceiling? You can walk around and dress up just like you would at home. You can take off the rain cover to transform your tent into a screen room in seconds. Then simply relax and take in the scenery all around you without any annoying bugs. Also, no need to worry about bad weather. The Coleman Octagon has stood up to heavy rain and winds, thanks to its 2000 mm waterproof rating and steel poles. Number 4. Coleman Tenaya Lake Cabin Tent. Want a large camping tent that really stands up to rain and winds? Consider the Tenaya Lake Cabin Tent. It's very roomy. There's enough floor space for you to put down 2 queen-size airbeds with some gap in between. And most of you will be able to stand up straight in this tent under the 6 feet 8 in ceiling. There's a 2 feet by 2 feet closet with some shelves and a hanger bar. You'll no longer have your clothes and shoes scattered all around your tent. Perhaps the biggest selling point is how weatherproof it is. Multiple people have slept in it through heavy storms, very windy, without a drop of water inside. This is in part due to its steel poles, which are much more sturdy and durable than fiberglass ones. The rainfly covers only the top, but the walls are highly waterproof. In terms of setup, Coleman advertises it at 9 minutes. But more realistically, it'll take you 10 to 20 minutes depending on your experience. It's still pretty simple for a tent of this size, though. Number 5. Coleman Hooligan Backpacking Tent. Coleman is really not known for making backpacking tents, but the Hooligan is an exception, and it's certainly not a bad backpacking tent. To begin with, It's quite spacious. The two-person model comes with 39 sqft of floor space, sufficient for two tall adults with gear. Most 2P models only have 28 to 33 sqft of space. And it's very waterproof. Reviewers have said it stays bone dry even in heavy rain, thanks to its full coverage rainfly and tarp-like bottom. My biggest concern about this tent is its weight. At £7 for the 2P model and £12 for the 4P model, it's one of the heaviest backpacking tents. You will feel uncomfortable if you hike with it for a long time, and you will want a buddy to share the weight with you. Also, it's not exactly a freestanding tent. It comes with only one pole, so you will need to stake it down to make it stand up. Number 6. Coleman Skydome Tent. Camping is very fun, but you won't like everything about it. Maybe you dread setting up your tent, or hate being stuck on the side of your tent with little headroom. You won't have any of these issues with the Skydome. It has 20% more headroom than traditional dome tents, thanks to its near vertical walls. The floor space is generous, too, and it would only take around 5 minutes to set up. The poles are already connected to the tent, so no more effort sliding those poles into the sleeves. A downside of this, though, is that you may have to replace the entire tent if one pole breaks. Number 7. Coleman Instant Cabin Tent. I've been a big fan of Coleman. Most of their gear is so affordable yet high quality. But the instant cabin tent misses the mark. It stays true to its claim of instant setup. Even if you're doing it all by yourself, it should take you no more than 2 minutes. It's also quite spacious. You should be able to put a queen-size air mattress along with a camping cot in the 4-person model. If you go with the 6-person model, you may be able to stand up straight inside the tent with a 6 feet center height. But it's not waterproof. Don't be surprised if you wake up wet after a night of rain. It doesn't come with a rainfly, which you need to buy separately. Even if you get the rainfly, it'll only cover the very top of the tent. Rainwater will still seep through the walls and windows. You are more likely to stay dry by fully zipping the windows, but it'll get stuffy real fast. The tiny roof vent is just not enough.